Yo, what's going on? It's your Coach Oz. Today we're going to be talking about a very powerful concept that can help increase performance in all aspects of your life. The whole idea of the state is the concept that I want to begin to discuss, alright? The definition of state is a particular condition someone or something is in at a particular time, alright? So if we can start to understand this concept of state, then we can start to understand our own patterns and patterns in others. These patterns can help us in many ways to become successful. So I want to give you an example of what I mean. Think about dogs. If you've ever had a dog, whether you had a house dog or you had a large outside dog, these dogs develop very particular patterns and habits, right? If I were to have a German Shepherd, I would have to train my German Shepherd very well. It has to go to work every day. These type of working dogs or hunting dogs get very anxious if you do not have very clear routines. If you do have a dog that has issues in the house, it's tearing things up, it's going crazy, it's making a mess while you're gone, it may be because this dog's not in a natural environment and the state of being that it exists in is not productive. Like, it doesn't like it. These dogs want to operate off of their instincts. So another example is homeless people or drug addicts, alright? A homeless person probably doesn't want to be homeless, right? Something happened in this person's life, whether it was a disorder or it was just a run of bad luck that got them into this state of being without a home that they can't get out of. They're too deep. Maybe they have outstanding debt. Maybe their caretaker has passed away and now they don't know how to take care of themselves. These people have ended up in a state that they can't get out of. The main concept of understanding state is now understanding that humans and animals all get trapped in different states. Times when I'm very productive, right? And there are times when I'm not productive at all. I don't want to do anything. So now I have to start understanding that I'm transitioning in and out of these productive and unproductive states. Alright? There are certain things that can trigger the transition into or out of a specific state. So if you're telling the dog, yo, it's time to go work, you're going to put the backpack, you put your, if you're telling this dog, yo, it's time to go work, right? We're going to put the harness on, we're going to make sure the leash is on, we're going to make sure the dog is now prepped. There's a routine he's going through that changes his instinctual state of exactly what he should be doing at that time. Alright, so this is the trigger. So now I can know if I'm in a productive or unproductive state. An unproductive amount of time for me is at night after I get done with my day, right? A productive time for me is in the morning. So I now understand, right? If I can understand that there's keys and there's things that can trigger these states. If I have more days where I'm up early in the morning versus where I'm up late at night, I'm going to be in a habitual state of productivity. So let's talk about another trigger, right? When I first moved into my apartment, I didn't have a TV for like probably 8 months. Probably 6 months. I didn't have a TV. I got a bookcase and put it there, and I was going to put the TV on the bookcase when I got one, right? So I finally got a TV for my birthday, I believe. My mom bought me a TV, right? So I put the TV there, and now I'm going from having a trigger when I sit down to relax on the couch to the first thing I'm seeing is a bookcase, to now there's a TV on top of the bookcase. So I'm adding a trigger that's going to lead me into an unproductive habit. Now what if I put a PS5 there, right? Or a game system, or I put a bar cart, right? I'm putting triggers to trigger these certain states of habits that I could fall into. So once we understand that we can have productive habits, unproductive habits, now we start seeing a more general pattern, right? We can have positive thinking states and negative thinking states that can be triggered by any event, right? So if I'm in a game and I miss a free throw, that may trigger unproductive thinking habits, right? It could trigger negative thinking habits. I can miss a free throw and then say, all right, I'm a little too relaxed right now. I really need to lock in. That is triggering a positive thinking habit, right? One that's going to increase my performance and be more likely for me to get into flow. All right? How about another example, right? So let's think about physics. So essentially that formula talks about the energy the gas has, right? So if you put pressure on a gas, the energy of it increases as more of the molecules begin to bump into each other and cause reactions and cause more things to happen, right? Just like when we do productive habits, positive thinking, we understand our state, where our most productive states are, right? Now we start having more positive things happen and chain and move around and create energy and add excitement, right? Or add pressure on us to perform. If you take a canister and you just keep filling it up, or a balloon, you fill it and fill it and fill it with air, eventually what happens? The pressure inside of the balloon is increasing and it just eventually explodes, right? Success is the same way. If you keep working and working, you're putting in productive habits, positive thoughts, being around people in the same mindset and that want to be in the same state as you, there's going to be nothing left but for success to happen for you. So increasing the pressure, increasing the temperature, or increasing the amount of people around us that are influential and positive in our lives and doing the same productive things that we want to do. All of these things increase the energy of our state and make us feel better, make us want to do more, make us perform at a higher level every single day. But it all starts with understanding, what state are you in? What is your state of being? What is your state of mind? How do you influence your state of mind? What things are positive? What things are negative? Where do you want to go? And how do you make it happen? How do you set up these habits? How do you get into a positive, productive, high-performing state? You got to figure all of this out. So what do you want in life? You got to be able to envision it. You got to see it like it's right in front of you. Every aspect of it. What do you want to be as a person? What are people going to perceive you as? What are the things that you're going to do daily? What are the things that you're going to do weekly? What are the things you're going to do monthly? Right? What are these habits that a person like that would do? The person like you can imagine yourself, what are the habits that they do on a daily basis? You have to create that for yourself. You have to create that. Share it with other people. See what kind of mood, what kind of state they want to be in, and figure out if that aligns with what you want. If it doesn't align with what you want, then you can't be around those kind of people. Those people are triggers to trigger a negative thought or unproductive habit. It starts with looking inside of yourself to understand these things every single day. Understanding that they're going to change, and that's all right. The person you were 5 years ago isn't the person you are now, and it's not going to be the person you are in 5 years. And then I just wanted to thank you guys for tapping in. It means a lot that you're watching my videos. I'm trying to put these together and do a little bit better job every time so I can get more information out there. Congratulations for wanting to learn more. It's a big step when you actually decide, like, I actually want to become learning more. I didn't really like to learn until probably I was halfway through college, right? So taking the step to decide to learn more, that's huge, and congratulations for that. And other than that, just keep doing the right things every day.